Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Los Angeles. Brian Custer, host of Showtime Championship Boxing. This is the final press conference for the Davis versus Cruz undercard. Of course, on Sunday, December 5th, Showtime Championship Boxing comes right back at you from the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. The main event features one of boxing's biggest box office attractions, the unbeaten world champion Gervonta Tank Davis, putting his unbeaten record, his title, his knockout streak on the line against the hard-hitting East Side Pit Bull Cruz from Mexico City. It should be one heck of a main event, but no main event of a pay-per-view card can be that good unless it's supported by a phenomenal undercard. And Showtime Championship Boxing pay-per-view, the BBC Premier Boxing Champions have put a premium and an emphasis on making sure that the undercard fights are matched well, high, meaningful, high-stakes fights, and that's exactly what we have coming your way on Sunday. This undercard features gentlemen who are ranked in the top 10. We've got guys who have fought for the world title. It should be one heck of a night at the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. The event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, and of course, TGB Promotions as well. The Showtime pay-per-view event, it all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 o'clock Pacific time here in Los Angeles. There are some tickets, some still for sale. And you can purchase those at AXS.com. Again, AXS.com. Let me bring up one of the promoters here. This gentleman, obviously, is the big promoter of Gervonta Davis. He's the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Mr. Leonard Ellerby.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today to join us. When I say we have a fabulous undercard, Mayweather Promotions has promoted the biggest fights in the history of the sport. There's no secret to that. I can honestly say that this phenomenal undercard that we have on Sunday night is probably the top 3 ever that I've ever promoted. Top to bottom, it's an outstanding card. In the co-main event, we have Sebastian Pandora. What an exciting fighter. Actually, he's one of my favorite fighters out there in the sport today. He'll be taking on Sergio Garcia, and I'm telling you, this is going to be an all-out battle. It is a WBC super welterweight title eliminator, and again, both of these guys are going to give you everything that they got. And then, prior to that, we got Sergey Darenchenko. We all know him. He's been in some very, very tough fights. Very, very good fighter. I thought that he's come on the bad end of some decisions. And again, he'll be looking to do his thing again on Sunday night and take advantage of all the experience that he's gained from being in there with top guys. He'll be taking on tough, hard-hitting Carlos Adames in a 10-round exciting bout. And then in the opening bout, kicking off the pay-per-view, we have top featherweight contender Eduardo Ramirez taking on former title challenger Miguel Mariotto. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I can honestly say this is one of the best undercards put together that I've ever seen. Personally, I would like to thank Showtime, Tom Brown, and my good friend Samson, who will be coming up here shortly. Again, these are fights you don't want to miss. From top to bottom, this is going to be an outstanding card. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. He's right. You know, you look at this undercard, You've got guys who fought for the world title a few times, top 10 fighters. You know, we'll begin the card with Eduardo Ramirez against the Scorpion, Miguel Mariano. Then we'll run into Carlos Adames, power puncher, taking on the technician, Sergey Derevyanchenko. We already know what Sergey has done. I mean, look, Daniel Jacobs, there's a number of people thought he won that fight against Daniel Jacobs. Triple G, another close fight that could have went either way. Jamal Charlo, that you saw on Showtime pay-per-view as well. And then, as Leonard pointed out, Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno, will step into the ring against Sergio Garcia. Sergio fighting for the first time outside of Europe. This is his first time in the States. He's excited about that. He's unbeaten. 2 unbeaten fighters in the co-main. Couldn't ask for more. And it's high stakes for that fight as well. Let me bring up, and by the way, I want to acknowledge Tom Brown, too, of course, the president of TGP Promotions as well. So always want to acknowledge him. But let me bring up a man here. He's going to talk to us more about the Fundora Garcia, the Ramirez Mariano fight as well. He's the president of Samson Boxing, one of boxing's best friends, Mr. Samson Lukowitz.
Thank you. Well, it's unusual to be on Sunday, but maybe it will change the time of the best shows on Sundays, especially when it's pay-per-view. I need to talk about, first of all, about the opening bout between Mariaga and El Zurdito Ramirez. It will enter to the tournament of the WBC mandate on the last convention, which is the 59 convention in Mexico. So the winner, it will pass one step to the world title. This, you see the fights, I'm so excited because it's something very, very special for every promoter to have a show of this kind. And talking about Sebastian Fundora and Sergio Garcia, I need to give him credit to the Spaniard that to take this fight when he have other opportunities that he didn't want even to think about it or talk about it because he won a shot to the #1 contender in the WBC, that is Erickson Lopez. And after that, definitely, if Shawn is around, you need to face it. The situation with WBC is very, very good for boxing. What you do is, you do this kind of tournament, and you do the kind of elimination bout that it will get to the champion. They really, I would say, they're really mandatory. So I want to say thank you to Mauricio Suleiman. This fight between the Tower and Ferrall, you cannot miss. I mean, nobody wants to lose the all. So please, to every one of you, I want to say thank you to Showtime, to Tom Brown for the opportunity to bring my guys to a great show like this one. And besides the grand show, we need to talk about Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz. Every unbelievable fight bombs away. You cannot miss. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
You know, during this time, I think it was Chris de Blasio who came up here yesterday from Showtime and talked about this is the season where we give thanks. And I don't know about you, I'm thankful to have guys like Samson around. Now listen, for those of you who don't know his story, I mean, this is a guy who's bedridden, cancer, everything, and he fought it like a champion. And look at him now. So it's good to see Samson. All right, let's get into the fights, man. Let's start. You know, Samson talked about first fight of the night, and listen, this is a great featherweight fight. Eduardo Ramirez. 25, 2, 3, 12 knockouts, 1 no contest. He's taking on the Scorpion, Miguel Mariaga, 30-4, 26 knockouts. Miguel, I'll start with you. You said and told the boxing public, specifically the boxing scene, this fight is do or die for you. Tell us why.
Vos, bueno, le dijiste a Boxing Scene que esta pelea para vos es a vida o muerte. ¿Por qué? Contanos un poco más de tu filosofía para entender.
Muy buenas tardes. Primero que todo, darle las gracias a Dios y también darle las gracias a Shawn por la oportunidad.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I want to thank God and thank Showtime for this opportunity that's being given.
Es una pelea muy importante, ya que todas son importantes, pero ahorita venimos en busca de una nueva oportunidad de título mundial y por eso digo que es una pelea de mucha responsabilidad.
Every fight is important, but in this case, this fight is to have a potential world title shot, and that's why I said it's do or die, because it's that big of a fight on Sunday night.
Eduardo, you look at your record. Five of your last 6 fights, you've won last 3 by knockout. Will Mariano be the 4th straight knockout for you come Sunday?
Bastante impresionante. Contanos si crees que este va a ser tu 4º knockout consecutivo y un poco de tu estilo de pelea.
Buenos días a todos los presentes, gracias por estar acá y muchas gracias por la oportunidad, mi promotor, a la gente de Showtime. Y como lo comentas, esperemos que el trabajo reflejado en el gimnasio, arduas horas trabajando al máximo, se reflejen con un knockout y si no, con una victoria.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody here, the presidents, the promoters, Showtime, BBC, everybody that made this fight possible. And, you know, in the end, whether the win comes by knockout or by decision, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters the most is for the work that I put in on the gym, day in and day out, for this fight to be reflected on the ring and to give fans a great show.
Miguel, listen, you fought some of the best. You know, you look at your record, Lomachenko, Oscar Valdez, just to name a few. Does Ramirez have anything that concerns you come Sunday?
Has peleado contra rivales de alto calibre, Lomachenko, Valdez, para mencionar algunos. ¿Hay algo de Ramírez que te preocupe y digas, esto es algo que me tengo que cuidar porque si no voy a ver esto mal?
De todos los boxeadores hay que cuidarnos, ¿no? Hay que cuidarnos y bueno, este boxeador no es nada del otro mundo y creo que normal a todos los demás es descuido, ¿no? Y bueno, lo más importante es que nosotros venimos al 100 y creo que va a ser una buena pelea.
Like you said, I fought against high caliber opponents, and Ramirez, to be honest with you, is nothing otherworldly. He's no one that, you know, I am overly concerned about. What I do know is that I have to be careful, I have to be focused, and I have to be aware of not underestimating anybody. But in the end, it's about what I do inside the ring.
Eduardo, you heard that. Just your response to that, and do you believe a victory over Mariaga get you that coveted world title shot that you've been looking for?
Bueno, Eduardo, primero que nada, tu respuesta a lo que dijo Miguel recién, y después, si crees que ganándole a Miguel tendrías una oportunidad de pelear por el título mundial el año que viene.
Hablando sobre los rivales que ha tenido Arriaga, sí, es una buena lista de nombres, pero estamos en un mundo que hay que vivir el presente, estoy aquí atrás. Igual me queda un poco de experiencia, pero el día 5 de diciembre se van a ver los resultados y esperemos sea sean positivos para México.
Well, as far as what Mariana said, I'm a guy that lives in the present, not in the past. At least in present, yes, but it doesn't matter what in the past, it's about what happens on Sunday night. And in the end, for me, on Sunday night, I hope to put Mexico's flag way up high, make everybody proud in my country, and show what I'm capable of. Y ahora sobre lo del título mundial, contanos un poco qué pensás si ganás. ¿Vas a tener esa oportunidad?
Esperemos que así sea. Por ahí suena algo de una eliminatoria, pero vamos por pasos. Primero vamos a tratar de salir con la victoria y seguiremos buscando ese tan anhelado título del mundo.
As far as the World Title Show opportunity goes, I do hope that win brings me a title eliminator shot, perhaps even a world title shot. But in the end, I have to go step by step. I can't look past this fight. Otherwise, none of my ambitions are going to come true.
That's the first fight of the night. Then we move into the second fight on this pay-per-view card. You're probably asking, why should I watch? Let me tell you why. This was high stakes. WBC has ordered the winner, Jaren and then Adames, to fight the unbeaten Jaime Munguia. Of course, that for the right to face the middleweight champion, which is Jamal Charlo. A lot at stake for this second fight of the night. And you've got Carlos Adames, 20-1. 16 of his wins have come by knockout against the technician, Sergey Derevyanchenko. 13-3. 10 knockouts. Carlos, what does a win, in your opinion, over Sergey Derevyanchenko do for you?
Bueno, Carlos, acá Ryan Castro mencionaba lo que significa esta pelea, de tener la oportunidad de enfrentar a Munguía, eventualmente si ganás, pues Charlo, ¿qué significa esta pelea para vos? ¿Hay presión adicional sabiendo todo lo que hay en juego?
Bueno, buenas tardes para todos. Quiero dar disculpas por hablar unos muy importantes. Sabemos que todas las peleas son riesgosas. Trabajamos, entrenamos, nos preparamos cada día para dar lo mejor de nosotros de arriba del ring. Yo creo que todas las peleas son riesgosas y creo que el riesgo hay que correrlo. Yo sé la responsabilidad que tengo. A mí me gusta enfrentarme a grandes boxeadores, como es mi contrincante ahora en esta actualidad. Es bueno saber que voy a enfrentar a un gran boxeador y estoy totalmente contento por eso.
Well, every fight has something big on the line. Every fight is risky. Otherwise, why are you fighting for it, right? I always look for the biggest challenges. I want to fight against the best boxers. Sergey certainly is one of them. And I'm aware of everything that's at stake, but I don't run away from it. I'm excited for what's going to come on Sunday night.
Sergey, we talked at the beginning how you had big fights with Daniel Jacobs, Triple G, Jamal Charlo, and you've had them like all in a row. I guess the question is, those fights can take a lot out of the fight. Does Sergey still have a lot in the tank? And why will you be victorious on Sunday?
Yeah, I have motivation. I feel I have fun, and this fight is future my career.
And you still feel that you're at the top of your game. Those fights didn't take a lot out of you. You still feel strong and ready to take on a power puncher like Adames.
Yeah, I feel strong. I saw fight with Adames. Adames is great fighters. He's good punches, but I'm ready. I fight with Jacobs, I fight with Triple G, I fight Charlo, I fight many guys who have very strong punch. This is boxing, I'm ready.
Carlos, Listen, he said, I fought Triple G, I fought Jacobs, I fought Charles, I fought guys who had big punches. You're coming up to 160. Why do we believe Carlos Adames can beat the technician?
Bueno, Carlos básicamente se le tiró los nombres en la mesa, ¿no? Tipo G, Carlos, y él básicamente está pensando que vos subís al 170 y él ya ha enfrentado a tipos poderosos como vos. ¿Qué te hace distinto? ¿Por qué él debería preocuparse con vos?
Yo entiendo que se ha enfrentado a grandes boxeadores, pero él no puede subestimarme porque él se ha enfrentado a grandes boxeadores. Grandes boxeadores, y si se enfrenta a mí, se está enfrentando a un grande boxeador. Y cuando nos enfrentamos de arriba, yo no soy ni Triple G, ni Danny Jacob, ni Marcellus, yo soy Carlos Adames, y a mí hay que ganarme a River Plate. Y yo no quiero que él me subestime, porque yo no lo subestimaba a él. Así que no me subestime porque va a tener un gran pegador y boxeador delante de él el día 5 de diciembre.
I understand that he's fought against great fighters. I'm not Lomachenko, I'm not Triple G, I'm not Jacobs, I'm not Charlo, but in the end, you're fighting against Carlos Adames, and Carlos Adames is a big puncher. Don't underestimate me. I don't want you to underestimate me, otherwise you're going to have a big problem in your hands because I'm a great puncher. I consider myself a great fighter as well.
Sergey, every fight's important. Is this a must-win for you? Do you need to win this fight Sunday?
Yeah, of course, I need to win this fight because this future is I need this fight. I win this fight. I fight in Minguia. I win Minguia. I'm going for belt. This is my dream. This is my way belt. But every fight is important. Now is future is my belt.
Got it. Carlos, we'll wrap it up with this. We know you did work at 154. On Sunday, will we see the new hard punching star of the 160-pound division in Carlos Adames?
Sabemos que te destacaste en las 154 libras, pero ahora en las 160 vamos a ver a un Carlos más poderoso, una nueva estrella que va a ir knockout por knockout.
Así es, lo acaba de decir. Yo comencé mi carrera en las 147 libras y era un tremendo pegador en las 147 libras. Cuando subió a las 154, mucha gente pensaba que yo no iba a ser pegador en las 154. Fui tremendo peleador en las 154. Me voy a las 160 y también voy a ser tremendo peleador en las 160. Yo estoy dispuesto a enfrentar a cualquier boxeador y este no va a ser mi obstáculo. Yo pienso que es un buen rival, pero no es mi obstáculo para pararme a mí.
You said it, Custer. Look, I started at 147. People didn't think I was going to be that great at 147. I showed them. Then I went to 154. They didn't think I was going to be better at 154. I showed them there. Now I'm at 160, and I'm going to show them again how powerful I can be, how big of a threat I can be. And Sergey, he's a good fighter, but he's not an obstacle for me. I don't consider him an insurmountable mountain that I can climb past, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
What did you call me, Custer? Or did you just throw that in? I think you threw that in. I think you threw that in there, bro. I know my Spanish. I think you threw that in there. All right, let's get down to the co-man. Oh boy, here we go. Sebastian Fundora, unbeaten, 17-0-1. 12 of his wins have come by knockout. And then you got Sergio Garcia, unbeaten as well, 33-0. 14 of his wins have come by knockout. Sergio, I'll start with you because it's your first time fighting in the States, here in LA, first time fighting outside of Europe. And not only do you take on the challenge of fighting an unbeaten fighter, but a guy who stands 6'6" and a southpaw.
Bueno, Sergio, qué desafío que tenés, ¿verdad? No solo tu debut en Estados Unidos, tu primera pelea fuera de Europa, sino que te enfrentás a alguien que mide 1,90 m y pico y que es algo muy inusual para tu división. ¿Qué opinas de esta pelea?
Bueno, ya lo hemos hablado en otras ocasiones, ¿no?
que no es muy común tener un peleador de esta envergadura en nuestra categoría, pero es por lo que hemos entrenado y nos hemos preparado para ello. Para mí es un honor y estoy encantado de estar aquí, no tengo presión de nada y vengo a hacer un gran combate.
It's an honor for me to be here. I have absolutely no pressure. And Fundora, he's a peculiar fighter for this division. He's unusual, but I have sparred against opponents as tough as, not as tough as tall as he is. So I feel ready for any challenges that he might throw my way on Sunday night.
Sebastian, let's be honest. You've been known for the hype. You know, obviously that's what people promote you as. Towering Inferno, obvious reasons. But is this the fight? Now we're on pay-per-view. You're going to get a lot of exposure. Is this the fight where you show off not only the power you possess, but the boxing skills as well, the fighting skills?
Well, I think it depends on the fight. If he gives me the chance to display my skill, last as long as he can, then I'll do it. But if the fight goes fast, like he does, then I'm just going to do what I always do.
Sergio, that's the one thing about Fundora. You know, people get in the ring with him, and he usually takes them out. What should we expect when you mix it up with Fundora on Sunday?
Pequeño problema, Sergio. Cuando Fundora entra al ring, generalmente noquea a los rivales. ¿Qué podemos esperar de Sergio García para que eso no suceda?
Bueno, yo creo que eso lo vamos a ver el día de la pelea, ¿no? Él vendrá con su estrategia, con sus ganas y su ambición, estoy seguro, y yo voy con mi estrategia y lo tendré que demostrar el día de la pelea en el ring, no ahora con palabras.
Look, I'm not about to tell you what I'm gonna do as far as strategy goes, because it's up to me to show everybody on Sunday night what I can do beyond just words. What Sergio Garcia is capable of inside the ring, and to prevent those knockouts from happening. Fundora is going to come with his ambition, his hunger, his drive, and I'm going to do the same thing. And hopefully fans will enjoy a great fight.
Sebastian, one thing I like about you when you fight, despite the hype, you're a really good fighter inside. You love to mix it up. Is that something that we'll see on Sunday?
Like I said before, if he's willing to come inside, try to walk me down, whatever he says, I'll definitely see what I always do. But it's what he brings. If he boxes me, if he fights me, we're ready for whatever.
We'll wrap it up with this. Sergio, first time fighting here in the States, what do you want the American boxing fans to come away with after they watch you fight on Sunday?
¿Qué crees que la gente estadounidense piense de vos después de verte pelear en el co-evento principal? ¿Qué conclusiones te gustaría que tenga tras verte pelear?
Bueno, pues ya lo he dicho que vengo a vencer y a convencer. Entonces voy a hacer una pelea inteligente y una pelea muy disputada y que al público le va a gustar. Ya dije que no vengo a correr por el ring, respeto a mi rival. Respeto a todos los rivales con los que me he enfrentado, pero no rehuyo la pelea de ninguno.
I came here to win the fight, and I came here to win hearts. It's gonna be a great fight because I didn't come here to run. I came here to stand up to Fundora. And hopefully fans are gonna be able to enjoy what's gonna be a great spectacle, and I'm gonna show what I'm capable of with my pride and my skills aligned.
Sebastian, give you the final word. You heard that. What can you guarantee the people? People who are laying down their hard-earned money for pay-per-view, they paid a lot of money to come out to the Staples Center. They want to see a good fight. What can you guarantee they're going to get on Sunday?
I can guarantee you get your money's worth. This fight right here is going to be the fight of the night. I can guarantee you that.
There you have it, folks. This is the undercard that comes your way on Showtime pay-per-view on Sunday, right up under Davis and East South Cruz. I know there are members of the media got some questions, so let's get right to them. Keep diving.
Brian, thank you. My question is for Sergio. I have two questions for him, actually. Sergio, you mentioned that you sparred against guys who are as tall as Sebastian. how difficult was it for you to find fighters that tall around your weight class to spar with?
Mencionaste que te entrenaste con sparrings tan altos como Fundora. ¿Qué tan difícil fue para vos encontrarlos en el rango de tu división?
No, ya expliqué que lo que saco de más es que los sparring que he hecho de su envergadura siempre han sido de más peso. Han sido de mayor categoría, entonces me hace trabajar más y me ha hecho mejor entrenamiento.
Sorry about that. And well, you know, the sparrings that I had were actually heavier than Fundora is, and I consider that an advantage, something that made me tougher, something that made me stronger, and it's gonna come in handy when I get into the ring on Sunday night.
My second question for you, Sergio, was I know you beat Ed Cheeseman, who was an undefeated fighter at the time, but how much of a step up do you feel that Sebastian Fundora is for you?
¿Qué tan grande es el desafío de Fundora comparado con rivales en el pasado? ¿Has enfrentado a rivales invictos, los has vencido, pero esto es otro nivel para vos?
Me encanta este desafío, estoy encantado de estar aquí, ya he dicho que no tengo ningún tipo de presión, vengo a su casa, vengo a hacer mi pelea y vengo a disfrutarlo. No voy a defraudar, vengo a hacer un gran espectáculo y no voy a echar el día.
I absolutely love this challenge. I'm coming into somebody else's house. I have no pressure. All I want to do is give fans a great show and enjoy each and every single moment. Hopefully with a happy ending, but in the end, I plan to savor every single second that I have on Sunday night.
Chris, que de boxeo, para Carlos Adames, Sergio está haciendo sparring con Edgar Berlanga, alguien que pega muy duro también. ¿Qué piensas del sparring que está teniendo él para la pelea contigo?
Bueno, esos son sparring, esos no son peleas. El sparring y pelea no son iguales. Él puede hacer sparring si quiere con Superman, es conmigo que él va a pelear. A mí no me importa con quién me la haga sparring, él se me enfrenta a mí y cuando nos enfrentemos sabemos quién pega más y quién no. Él hace sparring con guante de 16 onzas, nosotros peleamos con guante de 10 onzas. Ahí se sabe quién pega más y quién no pega más y quién pega menos. A mí no me interesa con quién me la haga sparring, a mí me interesa quién pelee.
I don't care at all. Well, actually, the question was that his opponent is sparring with Berlanga and how that concerns him, perhaps. And Carlos Adames says, look, sparring, first of all, is not a fight. And he can spar with Superman if he wants. I don't care. He spars with 10-ounce gloves. That's different than the gloves we used to fight. So, you know, I'm going to be ready for him. My opponent's going to realize how strong I am. And in the end, I came to show that I'm really strong. And he can spar whenever he wants, whoever he wants. But Carlos Adames is a whole different thing.
¿Cómo se dice character?
Character.
Two as telling that he's a character.
Character, you mean characters and he's a character. Eso es un personaje. Okay, yeah.
This is Sergio Life with Whitlock Doctor. This is for Sergio Garcia. With Sandra Myers going over Mikey Garcia, does he have any motivation from that performance with Sandra Myers to come and upset
Bueno, han habido batacazos recientemente y nadie se esperaba. ¿Eso te motiva a que vos podés agregar un capítulo más en la historia de sorpresas en el boxeo?
¿Estás rabioso?
No.
¿Tiene ganas?
No, pensé que era conmigo.
Sí, la verdad que España está en auge, el boxeo español está en auge ahora y la verdad que lo que más me anima es una oportunidad muy importante que no quiero dejar escapar, sobre todo por mi familia, por mi esquina, que es la que ha estado conmigo desde el minuto cero cuando empecé con 14 años con Víctor y mis dos pequeños, que es por los que yo peleo y por los que me voy a dejar la piel el día 5.
Spain is certainly on the rise, but I fight for my family. I want to make them proud. I want to make my corner proud. Those are the people that mean the most to me and who I fight this fight for. Obviously, the fans in Spain as well, but this fight is for my little ones, for my wife, for my family.
So yeah, I would assume that you studied Carlos Damas to some extent. Did you learn anything from his past fights, like the ones with Patrick Ferrall, where he was ahead in the fight and then he couldn't fight too?
Sorry, what was the question for?
Of course, I saw many fights, and this great fighter, a strong fighter, a good fight. And I know, and I'm training them for Adam. I know him, I know what I must do him. December 5th, I showed.
So there you have it, folks. The undercard for Davis versus Cruz. Again, all of this comes your way on Sunday, December 5th. Showtime pay-per-view. We kick things off at 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's 5 o'clock Pacific time here on the left coast. Some tickets are on sale at AXS.com. Davis versus Cruz, being promoted by Mayweather Promotions, of course, Samson Boxing, TGB Promotions, and GTD Promotions as well. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Gentlemen, we're going to have a face-off with each fight.
Bueno, vamos a tener los careos ahora, por favor, síganlo acá, Andrew, que párense y cada uno va a hacer su careo con su respectivo oponente, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Let's go.
Got the basketball.
No, I'm good. There we go.
Lester.
Anybody wants one-on-ones with the fighters, come up and grab the